I did have a PS4, but I sold it for a bit extra money.
Have you seen the memes of people saying like trying to play the new Spider-Man on a PS4?
This guy's PS4 is having a heart attack.
You know Miles's theme song, Sunflower? There's someone that's like web swinging through the PS4 one and then like singing it off key just in the background while he's swinging.
Used to say I keep a check. She was so bad, nevertheless.
Well, first, before we doing that, man, Armand here for the first time. Welcome to the Pioneer Podcast, all the way from South Africa. For anyone that doesn't know, he is our YouTube admin. He's our editor. He is the Don of basically this YouTube channel. And, dude, we're happy to have you here. We get to talk about so much cool shit together. What's up, bro?
What's up? What's up? Yeah. Sometimes when you guys gave me the questions for the editor's piece, I usually just before I want to go to bed, okay, let me just type it quickly in the chat, and then I just wait for the next morning to get the flipping file from Andy.
Yeah,
and then I start editing it, and I watch everything through. But yeah, it's fun to be up at 1:30 to do this.
So crazy.
The time difference is insane.
But it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like,
here.
1:30 isn't that bad because I've been to bed like these past few days like pretty early. So but yeah, pretty excited to talk a bunch of crap with you guys and go deep.
Dude, we have so much to talk about. And, you know, I didn't even realize because you actually were the one that reminded me. But I'm thinking, oh, damn, Spider-Man 2 is coming out this weekend. We get to talk about it. But it's still PS5 exclusive. So you didn't even...
you knew.
I
thought you knew about it.
Nah, dude, I didn't know. You kind of reminded me. I mean, it's...
Because when you told me, you were like, okay, so we're going to switch this Pioneer Pod to next week so that because you're going to play it. And I'm like, I'm not going to play it. What are you talking about? And then I'm like, do you know it's on PS5? Or
Yeah,
and then you
dude.
talked about playing it on the Steam Deck. And as well, I'm like, okay, I got to tell this guy right now.
That's crazy. I can't believe you're probably going to have to wait a year, right? Because the difference between the first
I gotta wait a
Spider-Man
year.
and then the PC
Yeah,
version.
they said the remastered one will come out in a year. So
Damn, dude.
just got to wait 12 months.
And you're just a PC gamer, right? You don't have any consoles at all?
I did have a PS4, but I sold it for a bit extra money.
Have you seen the memes of people saying like trying to play the new Spider-Man on a PS4?
Yeah. I've seen the
it's
one
so
with like
good.
the Sandman scene.
Yeah.
And it's like this guy's PS4 is having a heart attack, and it's just like one frame per minute.
You know Miles's theme song, Sunflower by Post Malone, and right, there's someone that's like web swinging through the PS4 one and then like singing it off key just in the background while he's swinging. It's just
Oh, that thing. That
or like doing the Spider-Man theme, but just sounding like on a broken headphone and just like the whole graphics
with
messed
the
up.
flute.
Yeah,
We
with
got
the
to add the
flute.
flute as well.
Damn. Well, that's unfortunate you didn't get to see it, or you don't have the opportunity to play it. But
Yeah, it
You-
looks amazing.
you were watching some of the stream. Do you have any initial thoughts? It sucks that you're gonna have to wait a year, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I think I was still busy rewatching because I think you did one more extra stream because you did the 7-hour stream the one night, and then I went to bed. And
Yeah.
then there's the one stream from last night, I think. So I need to rewatch that. So I'm at the part where you went to Coney Island with Harry and MJ.
Yeah. So we'll try and stay.
But I did see some of it before. So with I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah,
when
let's stay away
everything
from
got
story
revealed.
spoilers,
Everything
but-
got revealed, if I
Mhm.
can say it like that.
Yeah.
So I did see that and stuff, but the game looks really good. I wish I had a PS5,
Yeah.
but I don't want to buy a PS5 just for this game, to be honest.
Mm.
It's way too much money, and then I gotta pay for the game as well.
Yeah.
So, but it looks super good. I also saw the first thing that I saw was Peter. When you do the skill moves when you're swinging,
Yeah.
you actually have Miles' skill moves as well.
Yep.
So it's not just the plain generic skill moves that you have in the remastered.
Yep.
And that was one of the complaints that everyone had when switching back to the remastered version of Spider-Man from Miles Morales.
Right.
It's so boring. You can't do anything.
Yeah. 100%. They definitely capitalized on a lot of that, and I've been playing the Spider-Man remaster on stream for like the last few weeks, and the plan was to do that so that I could go into Spider-Man 2 like just fresh, knowing exactly how that game felt for multiple hours at a time, just a good reminder, and then jump into this new one. And it's been amazing. And you were saying not buying a console just for Spider-Man. I had a friend whose wife just got him a PS5 so that he could play Spider-Man 2. And when I first bought my PS5, it was mostly because of the Miles game. So it's funny, like, you know, you'll find those people that, like me, are willing to like, damn, that new game just looks so fucking good.
Willing to bust out money for a whole console just to play a game,
which is ridiculous. I definitely don't advise anyone to do that. It's a horrible financial decision. Don't do yeah, don't do that. But you did end up playing Starfield, right?
I was gonna say I'm more or less there with the PS2.
Yeah, you just bought a PS2.
I really wanted to play the Midnight Club game that I bought a PS2 just to relive that memory.
How much was it? I don't know if you told us.
The PS2?
Yeah.
Not as much, dude. It was like 160.
Damn, that's still kind of pricey.
It is pricey, but not as much as I thought it was gonna be.
Where'd you buy it from?
Amazon.
Oh,
Amazon.
Damn.
And it worked?
162?
Yeah, it worked great. Worked great. Packaging was like very professional as well. Like the game even came in a very like it was cleaned off. Everything looked good. The seal was in there still. So
how was the shape of the PS2? Was it like a lot of scratches or like it looked pretty good?
No, it looks good.
Dude, that's dope. You know what's funny is we were talking about this and I went to Target yesterday and they have a Lego kind of in the gaming section where you can build an Xbox Series X. Or you can do an Xbox 360, which is like their vintage one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy that we've gone so far that now is vintage and we have to have a Lego to see what it looks like. Like I probably still have my Xbox 360 somewhere if I go look.
Yeah, I have my original Xbox somewhere sitting around.
Classic.
I have my Game Boy Advanced.
Damn. From when you were a kid?
From when I was a kid, shit still has batteries in it. It's like I haven't recharged it. Don't know where the cable to recharge
you
it
didn't
is.
take the batteries?
It hasn't died. Don't know how. To show how things back in the day were made.
What retro
and the batteries had to start leaking?
Yeah, right?
No.
What retro shit did you play, Armand? Did you play what was your first console?
So I think my first one was technically a GameCube.
Ooh.
So we got that because we got family in Canada. So we went and visited them a lot in Christmas. So we got a GameCube there, and then we started getting Game Boys as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. It's those classic ones that flips open, the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just Game Boy.
Right.
So I didn't really have like the Game Boy Colors or Game Boy Advance and stuff, because you couldn't really get it here. You could get it, but it was quite difficult. But so I think more with Game Boy and GameCube, but then also had like an old Atari as well.
Nice.
So, but we didn't play with that much. So, but yeah, I think more GameCube and Game Boys.
Okay.
Lived off it. It was amazing.
So you grew up
awesome
on what kind of games on the GameCube?
Something of everything. I think the one game that I really remember playing was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Ooh.
I think it's the game that I used to play.
Wow.
And also Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Damn, so one of your first ever games was playing Harry Potter, and then Hogwarts Legacy comes out this year? That's nuts, dude, because I never played any of those old Harry Potter games. So what was that like for you?
I haven't really played all the Harry Potter games. I only played that one. But it was because I actually went back and watched because people ranked the Harry Potter games and with Hogwarts coming out, so I rewatched them. And when going back, because I'm trying to remember which game it was that I played for a bit. I don't play it that much, but just going back to on that video as well, looking at everything, it was so cool looking at all that retro stuff and how they really tried to implement Hogwarts in it, but they really struggled. So most of the Harry Potter games weren't good at all.
Yeah.
There's like 2 maybe good games, but other than that, everything was just ass.
And how much of Hogwarts Legacy did you play?
I can check in a bit how much hours I do have, but I
Over
think I'm at the
100?
same. I'm still busy. No, not over 100. I do have a life, I gotta edit for you. So no, I think maybe think maybe around 50 hours. Probably
Wow.
50 hours.
Yeah, I mean that's
So,
around that's around what I had to.
Yeah, I think because I'm still busy with my OWLs. I still haven't finished it, so still need to finish the game technically.
Yeah.
But it's you're just doing this small side quest. So
Yeah,
I'm actually at the
exactly.
same as where you are.
Yeah, I haven't done the
So
last thing, which is like head on the train and get out of there or something. I don't know what happens in the final sequences. I'm assuming there's probably some cool cutscenes. I should finish it too. But
yeah,
I was actually having the thought today because being able to play Spider-Man now and how open world it is and being able to interact with NPCs, and I feel like Hogwarts Legacy did a good job of that. But I was just thinking today of like games of the year because right now that Spider-Man 2 has come out, everyone's trying to debate who's got the best game of the year. Is it Starfield? Is it, Spider-Man 2? Is it Diablo? Like there's a lot of different games that people have been enjoying. And just thinking about scale in comparison to Hogwarts, like there's so much that Spider-Man and Insomniac is doing that if Harry Potter could be like in that world with that much immersion as far as like, being able to travel further than the school and interact with, you just see a lot of people within the community, right? A lot of NPCs. And we were talking about this earlier this year with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, same thing where that's like a little bit too linear, like God of War. I think a Star Wars game where it's a little bit more open world would feel a lot better. But yeah, man, it's a tough question right now for me. I think Spider-Man 2 is probably leading up there for me for game of the year. I still need some time on it, but Armand, I know you played Starfield as well, and you had a bad experience, right?
barely played it. I think I got like 20 minutes on the game.
Oh wow.
Dude, I can actually like send you guys a video or something sometime. But I literally tweeted a video of how the first time when you get in your ship and you get into the first planet where you start like shooting the pirates.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure it's pirates, right?
Yep.
Literally the first time, and then it's just so buggy. It's laggy. I don't know what's happening. I tried giving it another shot. I reinstalled the game, and it's like, how many gigs is it again? It's like
like
80
it was a
or
lot.
100 gigs.
118 or something like that.
Yeah. 118 sounds
So,
right.
yeah, but I tried reinstalling it like 3 times or something, and I did buy me a new SSD. So maybe it's my hard drive. But it wasn't like that when I started the game, like literally started the game. It wasn't anyway like glitching or whatever. So horrible experience. And I actually like tweeted at Bethesda as well,
You fucking
like
pieces of shit.
support as well. But they I was hoping that they maybe tell me like it could be your hard drive. Just check that, or something, like just something at least.
Literally a
But,
fucking answer. Anything.
just something, because it's well, there's just one person that has this issue, which is me.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like it's under the radar. Let's just leave it, But yeah, then I was like, I'm not that crazy about the game now. It's a cool idea. I also, when the game released, I was like, it's such a cool idea to have this open world space game. You can go to any planet you want. But the more I look at it, it's a bit too much for me. Like I think it's overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
I think that's why I wouldn't maybe continue playing the game, but I wanted to give it a shot at least, but I can't.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I had a bad experience too with Starfield, right? I lost my 6 hours. And same as you, I couldn't find any help. The only thing that I could find was forums on Reddit where like a few other people had experienced it. And I ended up doing shit that to this day my computer acts weird. Like as far as saving files and stuff, it's like confused. It's like we can't find this location. We can't find your hard drive. I've never had those issues before. So I don't know if it was the bug or my attempts at trying to fix it that fucked my computer. But yeah, same situation where at first it really was a bad experience for me, and then I got to retry it, and I put another like 10 hours into it. And it's a good game, man. It's solid, it's fun, but I can understand that overwhelmingness of it just being too big and expensive. That's how I felt about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's just like after 2 hours, I'm like, damn, bro, I haven't even scratched the surface, and that's just like too much for me to take on, because I don't even have that much time to game like that, even though I stream and it's something I really focus on. But those are for people that want to put in 150, 200, 300, 500 hours by the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with playing 25 hours of one game and then never playing it again.
Yeah.
That's more my style.
I love the different viewpoints people can have from that, where it's like, bam, I hardly scratched the surface. Can't wait to continue to. And then there's the other people like, dude, I hardly scratched the surface. I'm not even gonna bother. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly how I am. Exactly.
Yeah. Cam is similar to that too.
For me, it was I don't old game, but Skyrim. That was like one of the few games I wanted to really try to play, and it was such a cool game. But I got stuck in this one part where it was just a cave, and then my cousin was like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're not supposed to be in there. Like that's a way higher level of cave."
Right.
And for me, it was just like there's no warning. I spent like days trying to I would like reload the game and try. And for me, it was like I thought I was supposed to be there. I thought fully I was supposed to be there.
Right. You're too soon.
Yeah.
You weren't leveled up.
And then that just was like, this game is like, it's too open world. There's no linear path of where I'm supposed to go. I get too confused with this stuff, and I'm not that good of a gamer.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, I just gave up, and I never picked up Skyrim again after that. It was like,
which makes sense. Like no guidance at all.
yeah, and I'm not a fan of games like that where it's just like you explore and you find out yourself. It's like, yeah, show me a way though. Let me get that. Let me earn that.
Right.
Reason to explore, but give me walk with me first instead of just throwing me into the world.
I don't think there's many games that I've ever played for a long time that are like that. I usually get pretty burnt out, or I get too overwhelmed by its size that I don't even get into it that deep. Like Elden Ring, didn't get very far. Skyrim, I was turned off to it pretty soon on, even though like customization, stuff like that was cool, but just not my thing.
Yeah.
I haven't touched Starfield now in 2 weeks. So who knows if I ever go back to it.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky, like same thing. I played like 3 to 5 hours, and it's never been my genre of
No Man's Sky
gaming.
was the same thing for me.
Yeah.
I gave it a try and I was like, it's just too much. There's too many little things here and there. Like one thing leads me to another, and there's just it's too big of a world right now where I'm like, I don't have the mental capacity to dedicate time to this.
Yeah. Armand, did you play any big open world games like that? Skyrim or Elden Ring? Did you put any big hours into that?
Not really Skyrim. I wanted to get No Man's Sky. Like there was so much hype around it as well, like Starfield. But I was also hyped for it, but then I think as soon as it released, I saw some gameplay, and one of my best friends also got the game, and then there was just so much bugs as well and glitches with the game, and he told me, and I saw a bit of the gameplay from his side. Like he was next to me while he's playing and stuff. I don't know. I just got put off of it. I was like, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm like on the side of I'm probably gonna buy it or not gonna buy it. So just died off for me. And yeah, I'm the same. I'm really someone that likes to play this whole open world games. Like I tried what's it, World of Warcraft. I tried playing World of Warcraft once, because I remember you could get the magazines, the World of Warcraft game in it. And then I remember, but it was a long time ago, and I was pretty young still, so I wasn't really that cultured into gaming, like
Right.
My brother played a lot, so yeah, I don't think really.
What was
I don't think I
to
got
get a
into
better
that kind of game.
to get a better gauge of like your taste? What would you say, if you have it on the top of your head? What's like your top 5 games of all time, or maybe just a few that you remember right now?
So I think I remember we did give like our top 5 games or top 3. I think we gave top 3. But both God of Wars are up there. Like the game needs to have like a proper story, like not like Assassin's Creed,
Right.
Mirage, not like that. So
Right.
it needs to have like a really good story that's like it's like cinema kind of story,
Right. The story's driving it, not necessarily like
Yeah,
the
there's actually a
abilities
story.
or
It's not just
gameplay.
there.
Right.
Yeah. So I say both God of Wars, both were amazing. And also you gotta add like Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Times, for instance.
Nice.
Played that quite a bit. So I didn't play all the Legend of Zeldas, but that was a really fun game to play.
Mm-hmm.
And other game, I'm trying to think of other games now. Like, there is the games that I have in my head, but it's not coming out. So
I feel like you would put some CODs in there, wouldn't you?
see, I'm not really a campaign kind of guy.
Yeah,
I
but
never
that's okay.
really-
You could put a
but-
non-story game in your top
But
5.
yeah, if you want to put me like a genre of game, yeah, COD, because it's just it's a game that keeps me playing because it's you can just go and like play multiplayer and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's someone that played it a bit with friends. Like that was how we were in school. Like I think when I was 15 or 14, that's when Black Ops 3 came out, and I just met this new friend group, and it's the friend group that I'm still friends with. And what we did was, as soon as we get back home, we still have we have school uniforms in South Africa. So we still have everything on. We come back home, get something to eat, come sit at your computer, well, PlayStation 4, and we play till like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So that was fun doing that, and then the competitive in me starts switching on, and then I just wanted to play Call of Duty, like constantly competing in it. So that's why COD is still a game that I love playing, even though it's kind of trash every now and then. And you get so mad.
Well, are you
but
gonna
also
play
sports games.
Are you gonna play MW3?
You know, probably gonna
big
get it.
sigh.
Probably
I think
gonna
that's
get
like every Call of Duty fan's reaction right now to that question.
100%. I
don't want to get it.
I think you're insane if that isn't your reaction. If you don't hesitate on that question, you're mad.
Yeah, I
You're
have
mad now.
I have no desire to play MW3. 0%.
Yeah.
And each of the last like 3 or 4 years, it's been going down like 20% every year.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Before it was like a community thing. Like, you know, I might still play just because there's other people that'll play. And now I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you're just clearly not listening. And it's so aggravating that no thanks.
I
I'll
think
just put
I'm-
on Halo Infinite. That's actually pretty good right now.
I think I'm very out of the loop but MW3 was my favorite Call of Duty for the original one. So this is actually the first one where I'm like, I'm actually going to buy this one and I'm going to give it a shot. I think the last 3 Modern Warfares that came out, Call of Duties that came out, I didn't even try. But this is the first one where I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Just
Valid.
because I like it.
So back to the big
Yeah, I
sigh.
think-
You gonna do it?
Wait, you talking to me?
Yeah. You're the one that's
Oh, sorry. Sorry, could you just repeat? Because I was busy talking while you're talking.
Yeah. A little fucking lag. It's okay.
No, but I think if there's a COD that I like, Cold War was a good COD to play for fun. Like when you did with the community stuff and like doing lobbies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it's a Treyarch game, I think then you can get into that Call of Duty mood again because it's actually a studio that likes to listen to the community and wants to help out the game actually and not just for the money. Also now with Xbox buying over Activision as well, I think it could be. I think Call of Duty could be on a really good uphill from now.
Really? Why?
Because it's just before, when was it? I think AW was the last time Xbox was like in control of Call of Duty
Really?
games,
Really? I
I
didn't know
think.
that. So
and that's when it went downhill.
I don't know if
Black Ops 3 was still good, but yeah.
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but is Blizzard and Activision going to be dissolved and Microsoft is just owning it now, or they own the rights to it and they're still going to keep those studios as developers and production?
I don't think it will be dissolved. I think Microsoft is just going to act as a parent company.
Well, it will
Yeah.
give them more control, so they can tell them what to do.
Yeah,
I'm just curious
I just
about
don't think they'll be dissolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't be dissolved.
Well,
But they do have a bit more control over what they still want, like what's their vision about the game.
yeah.
Because Xbox Sony isn't bad. Like of course they're not bad. They got Spider-Man
Yeah, I
and God
mean,
of War and stuff. But
Sony's doing
the thing is-
great, I think.
I think Xbox is a little bit more for the gamer side. I think because of Call of Duty as well, because they do have a history with it, and I think they do know how to run it kind of.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I think I'm just like sucking something on my thumb right now, to be honest. Um, but I also now with esports as well, the CDL, this might be the last season of the CDL,
Hmm.
which people are saying because MLG could be coming back now and taking over Call of Duty,
Mhm.
like with Halo. So there's going to be the same old bracket, like pool play and stuff, and then back to the normal tournament settings and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's also a bright side.
which I
So,
think is good because there was a moment there in time these last few years where, especially during COVID, where gaming was on the rise and a lot of us thought it was going to skyrocket. And I think post COVID, we're looking at a little bit, it's settled down, right?
Yeah.
The bar is kind of leveled out. And I think COD wanting to do CDL, it felt like it was right. We were headed there. But I think it's a reflection now that the world isn't really ready for the CDL and the way that they want to do it. And I think bringing it back to MLG where its roots, the community is happy, keep feeding those people, building it up slowly. Because I feel like part of that is a reflection of them going to MLG because of their failures at CDL. I mean, I assume that they probably lost a lot of money too in the CDL because it wasn't doing that great. I mean, online it's done numbers at times in different tournaments, but I mean, I haven't watched COD consistently since probably, dude, Cold War.
Yeah.
I think that was the last season that I was watching actual CDL. Have you watched CDL recently, Armand?
yeah, I keep in touch with CDL, to be honest. I don't know. It's just I keep following Optic as well.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be like nature to me to go and watch the tournaments and stuff. So yeah, I
So-
watched the whole season this year as well.
Wow. So you've tuned into the whole season and you're watching the full streams or just watching all the Optic matches?
In the beginning, if if Optic, for instance, also last year with Vanguard, oh no, wait, well, technically the previous COD, I did watch that as well a lot. But in the beginning, I was kind of like invested into COD again and watching all the other teams and like predicting, okay, this team will win, this team will win that much and stuff. So I was actually invested in it. But as the year went on, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch Optic.
Yeah.
And this year as well, in the beginning, a little bit, but not as much. So I was also just like following Optic. But now as well because they've got a good team. So, and the game looks fun to watch. Modern Warfare 3. It's yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it looks fun to watch. And they've got a good team, really entertaining players and stuff. So I'll probably watch it again. But yeah, I think Call of Duty is still just gonna be something deep inside my heart that I
Yeah, for sure.
love, enjoy watching. So
How do you
yeah.
think COD is going to continue without Scump? I know that he's doing the broadcasting and streams and watch parties and stuff like that, but now that he's not an active player, do you feel like that's going to affect the state of COD and a lot of the fans watching and stuff like that?
Look, the thing is now as well, they've got an issue with it, but apparently now with Xbox getting Activision and stuff, they might switch over from Twitch to YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't good for them. I don't know why Scum doesn't want to just do YouTube.
Mm.
Because you can still start there off with all the members and stuff. So it's basically the same, but I understand that Twitch is a bit more of a streaming service.
Yeah.
And he's got such a great following there as well. But it's his YouTube channel, you know.
Yeah.
He's got how many million subs?
Yeah.
But I think that could hinder it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it did help a lot with his watch parties.
Yeah.
Because he was also now with Halo as well. He went to the Halo World Champs as well. He was there in person,
Yeah.
doing the watch along. But yeah, I think Scum's a big loss, and it was a huge loss. Playster's still there though, but I think he said this is gonna be his last year. So, I think it's just all the OG kind of Call of Duty fanboys that is kind of gonna die down a bit now because it feels like okay, we're getting old, and
Mhm.
Scum's not there anymore, Playster's not there anymore, but Scump was a huge loss, huge loss, because that's only the reason why some people would go and watch Optic is because of Scump.
Yeah, 100%. It's
So,
one of the big reasons
and
I
that's
got
maybe
into it.
that's maybe a bit of the fan base that you lost now towards someone else.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's probably still gonna be fine. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because he's actually really determined to do challengers this year.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe wants to come back, because this
Really?
guy's nasty. He's so nasty, because he was been playing a few throwback tournaments as well,
Mm.
and he absolutely smashed like even younger guys as well, like still playing in the CDL. So
What a god.
yeah, I don't know, but it is a big loss. Scump
Yeah.
is a huge loss, but
Do you know when the
We'll have to
beginning
wait
of
and
the next season starts? Right, because the game drops November 10th, I think.
11th.
11th.
11th
Because it was on Pioneer Day.
Oh, boom. So, what, the season will probably start early December-ish, maybe
I don't think they
January.
have a date yet. I'm
Yeah,
not
they
sure
usually
have a
don't
date
drop
yet.
it. And I heard
Yeah,
that
so,
competitive ranked isn't going to come out in MW3 until mid first season, so that could be until December or January potentially. It comes out on November
Dude,
10th globally.
Oh, my fault.
No, it's all good. So I think that's
Well,
the Thursday.
That's what they said. That's what it said about season 1 as well with Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
That rank play is gonna drop, and what happened. So
Well,
yeah,
I barely played
I don't really believe
MW2.
what they say about
When did
rank
they
play anymore. So
when did they drop ranked for MW2? How long after?
wasn't it like season 3?
Something ridiculous. At that point I was
Yeah, it was
checked
like
out
season
though.
3.
Yeah, I didn't even play ranked in MW2, bro. I was like, fuck this
I
shit.
played it with my friends a bit, but
It was
I wasn't
released
that invested in it.
It was released on February 15th. Damn. That's 3 months after the
Exactly.
release of the game.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Hopefully that'll change with
their
Xbox.
estimated time is not good
Yeah.
about rank play.
Let's hope Microsoft gets that shit figured out.
Is there a
Okay.
reason they
Yeah.
don't just release it the same day? I never really
I think because
understood
they're
that.
rushing.
Yeah.
They don't have time to have a complete game sold every year on the same date. They need more development time. Or it's a marketing tactic to just hold people over. Like, yeah, rank's coming. You just keep playing,
Yeah,
keep
that's
playing, keep practicing,
A fucking stupid tactic.
keep buying the skins. And then you drop it in February, and then all the fan base that stuck around is happy, and then it rises for a little bit, and then by June it's dead.
Yeah, maybe it is like they know like there is a rise and a fall to games, so they kind of want to stagger the release. So it kind of
Exactly.
recaptures people's interest so they
Exactly.
can keep playing longer.
It's fucked up if that's true.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, but it's also like how smart of a business move is that? If they're that big, it might be.
How many years later? I don't think it's been a good business move. What do you think, Armand? Do you think that they're just not fucking ready when they drop the game, or what? You think they're playing games out there?
To be honest, I can't get into an incompetent mindset like they are, to be honest. So
Real.
shots fired.
Real.
um
On God.
no, I don't know. It could be a marketing scheme to kind of like lure them in, saying, yeah, rank play is coming, just wait for it.
It's coming. It's coming.
Or they just
It'll be there.
they just can't get it done.
Yeah.
Like, because I think was it last year or this year that Treyarch is coming in to help out with the rank play?
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
it was last year.
Not sure.
Can't remember. But there was something about Treyarch coming in to help out with the rank play.
Mm-hmm.
Which could happen this year. If it was, it should be they're doing it for this year, so it could come out on time. But I think they're just not prepared. But by them not being prepared, they're not losing money.
Yeah.
They're gaining some money, I think. So they're not rushing it. I think it's like a best of both. Well, something out of everything, you know.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to ask you. You know the starting roster for Optic this year?
yep.
What
It's
is it?
So it's Dashi, Shotzi. So those two stay. Pred and Kenny.
Ooh, the addition of Kenny. Pred's a
Yep.
big pickup, dude.
Yeah, he's a huge pickup.
Wow.
So I actually, because I was actually like hoping that we get him, so I was kind of like invested into the whole roster mania now in the end of the season. But I think because he almost went to Optic in the beginning of the year,
Mm-hmm.
but then it fell through, and I think ever since that, him and Hex were still talking. So I think it was a guaranteed that because he wanted to go to Optic.
Yeah,
If
well, I
FaZe
mean,
gave him an
that's
offer, I think he would still
right.
go to Optic.
Yeah.
So that was guaranteed. But uh, Kenny was like a not a last ditch kind of thing, but it was either Scrappy, but Scrappy was a bit difficult to get, or Draza, which I'm not really keen on. I was when I saw that, I'm like, hello,
No,
bro.
man, I'd rather take Kenny.
Yeah, and then there was apparently then okay, so Kenny was the other rumor, or they said Seth actually also Scump also said that he might be willing to come back and go play flex,
Ooh.
which would have been unbelievable. But to be honest, I'm on Kenny. He's a really smart guy.
Yeah.
He's got raw gun skills as well. So
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea for Scum to come back in the scene. I think just, retire, be happy, do your thing. You have a wife now. Like,
yeah, the thing is, but
go-
he's got that competitive in him still. He wants to come back, and he's still so good, which is the craziest thing. He's so good, and
Well, that's-
imagine him on a flex roll with an AR.
100%.
That you can
And
just chill back.
and that's a sport that there's no reason you need to retire. Like, I understand
No.
some physical, hand pains and stuff like that. I know Illy had that problem, but with the fingers and thumbs and shit, but that's a that's a sport that you can play for a long time. So yeah, I mean, he could come back.
Yeah.
He could come back.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think for me, for instance, like I competed for a few years, and it's so draining to go and practice like every day till late as well.
Yeah,
You play
it's
the
true.
same thing every now and then, same strats. You try to remember strats.
Yeah,
He's been doing this for how many years? For 12 years, I think.
yeah. Damn, that's a long fucking
And
time.
the thing is, you do miss it. Like I also miss it sometimes, but I don't want to go back at that whole the um the whole getting back to the practice things, and it's so repetitive and annoying, and then you get tired of it again. So
Do you
I think
have?
he
Go ahead.
sorry?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I just want to say, so I don't think he'd want to come back and stay here. He'll maybe do it for a season, and then he's gone again. So
We'll see then. We'll see. Do you have a prediction of where they're gonna end up by the end of the year? You think they'll have another third place, first place? You think they have enough to win? Because I don't know the
I
state of the
think-
league. I don't know the other rosters, how everyone's stacking up. I don't even fucking know who won last year. Who won last year? Or this year?
New York.
New
New
York.
York won. Yeah.
Really? Who's the roster?
But so it was Kismet,
Wow.
Hydra,
Yep.
Skies, and Priesta.
Oh,
But
Skies went over
they
there.
but they released Priesta and got Sib because they actually, so New York went and gave, so they split, so they took off of Priesta's salary to pay the other guys more.
Wow.
And then Priesta wasn't happy about it. And then there was this whole shenanigans, and then he said, "No, I'm out." And the guys weren't even like, "No, okay, wait, let's just keep him. We won champs." So he went. So he's at Boston now.
Wow.
But I think so. New York looks pretty good still.
So they
because they're
won
world champions.
They won with Priesta
Yeah, and then they
at
dropped
champs,
him.
and then they just dropped him right after. Wow.
So
good
there's
for
a
New
whole,
York.
and one player can make so much difference in chemistry as well. So.
100%. And where did Optic rank at the end of the year? How did they land in champs?
I think they were fourth at champs, but they were like second overall in the standings.
They're second, third, and fourth like every year. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but
what do you think about
they're
this
not
year?
bad. They're just inconsistent. They just
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
get
that's
that.
technically bad.
They just can't. But they did have the ghosty, like the rookie on their side as well, and they did make a few roster changes as well.
I remember that.
But I think they'll keep their roster this year. I don't think there's a reason for them to switch.
I think as long as you have a hardworking team with good chemistry, there's no reason in that league you need to be trading players all the time.
Yeah, but that's why I think about this team as well, because Kenny is really dedicated, because he's super smart as well. He forces everyone to practice and stuff, and Craig's kind of a grinder as well, and Dashi also, and Shotzi is also there. So there's no reason for them not to stick together. So
Nice.
if they stick together, I think they'll get a win. They'll get a chip. Champs. Depends on, because FaZe just got draws instead of Flasher, so they're still gonna be so good.
Yeah, they're good every year.
Ultra looks good. So there's a lot of good teams still, but I think I'm just gonna say I think Optic could win champs, but we'll just have to wait and see how the year goes.
Come on, give me a prediction so that when we can look back on this moment in a year. What do you think? Give me a number.
Okay. I say it is Ultra versus Optic in champs final, and they're gonna win. Wait, it's a best of 9, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's say 5-3.
Wow. Or 5.
I don't know. I
4.
don't even know what's the third game mode. So
Interesting. Okay, brother. I got 2 more questions before I let you go. Assassin's Creed Mirage. You are a huge Assassin's Creed fan. You played a lot of them, right? Or all of them? And you were even playing some of the old ones before Mirage came out. So I just want to hear quickly your thoughts on the franchise and how you felt about Mirage.
so I played. I didn't play 1 as much, but 1 was a really good pioneer game to Assassin's Creed. Um, but Assassin's Creed 2 was revolutionary kind of compared to Assassin's Creed 1. So I played Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood, Revelations as well, and I played those on the Xbox a lot. So I was crazy about Assassin's Creed. Um, and then 3 also came out. I played 3 a lot. That was a really fun game. Black Flag a little bit. Unity, love Unity. And then Syndicate, and then that's kind of where it stopped. That's when the new Assassin's Creed kind of kicked in with
Yeah.
was it what was the first one?
Odyssey, the one before the
Odyssey.
Egypt one was the one right before it. That was that one I didn't play. I jumped on once Odyssey dropped.
Oh, isn't Origins?
Origins, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, Origins. So that one I didn't play, and then Odyssey as well. But Odyssey looked good.
Odyssey
but,
was very,
yeah.
very fun. Honestly, it's one of my favorite titles from the series. I haven't played them as much or remember the old games as much as you do, but when I jumped in Odyssey, I mean, I just love that era with the Spartans. I was so sucked into the entire lore, and the gameplay was fun. The customization, weapons were great. And then after that, we got Valhalla. Which
I was hyped about it because I did like the Vikings idea.
Yeah,
but
man, I was so excited.
So overwhelming. Overwhelming, and it was a bit. I don't know. It moved away from the whole Assassin's Creed feeling that I had. So I literally played it for a bit, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Agreed.
Which is sad because Vikings are like, at least in my opinion, one of the coolest
it's
time
cool.
periods, kind of generation of people. It's just pure barbarians that just ride on ship.
Yeah.
It's just like the biggest
Yeah.
super, like modern, like not modern day, but like real life superheroes,
Yeah.
pretty much. Not heroes, but like, I don't know how to explain, like monsters, like these scary guys that just
Savages.
roll. Savages, that's the word I'm looking for. That just people just roll up and just wreck everything in their path.
And I kind of liked the direction they were heading in, like taking Assassin's Creed and hitting these different time periods that were pretty cool, like going to a Spartan and then going to a Viking. And there's been a lot of rumors of them going to Japan, doing Samurai, which I think now they might still do next year. But
yeah, it's the next one, I think.
But you know, it's Vikings, and then we started to play it, and like he said, it just felt like a different game. Too overwhelming, too big. And then Mirage comes out, and it doesn't get any fucking better. I thought it looked beautiful. You know, I played decent, but the story was just so lackluster that I just could not get immersed at all. At all.
Yeah, I think with Mirage, because they said they're gonna go back to the roots, and the roots that they kind of advertised was Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood kind of style, but they kind of tried to implement the whole parkour aspect of it again, but the parkour is a bit iffy. It wasn't that great, and but I think the whole roots that they used is stealth. That's their roots that they tried to implement, but they didn't advertise it as just stealth. They said the whole roots is back, but it was basically just stealth that they brought back, which was kind of fun to do it like that again. But yeah, the story was just compared to previous Assassin's Creeds, it's just so so lackluster. It's so boring. There's so many names as well. It's cool, but the thing that I hate about the new Assassin's Creeds is they overcomplicate Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to overcomplicate it because what made Assassin's Creed 2 a great game, everybody, I promise you, anybody that played Assassin's Creed would say Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood or Revelations was great Assassin's Creed. Even Black Flag.
What
It was
about it? Do you
great.
think? What was
but
the simplicity
it was
that you think was
simple.
magic?
So I think the whole with this new Assassin's Creed, the whole okay, so the maps, for instance, as well. It's that map. You're not gonna go all the way across the world to that town or whatever, or that city. The so having the eagle, for instance, in Mirage and also with Odyssey and stuff it's pretty cool, but I think it's overcomplicating the game. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just moving into that direction where it's a bit overcomplicating the game compared to what it was. But yeah, I think also with like weapons and stuff. So the weapon wheels as well, for instance, it was so simple. Literally just click, click, click. Okay, there you're going on that side, or clicking on the other side, then you're at the smoke bombs or whatever.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't really play Mirage that much now to really see how the equipment was, and if you had a lot of them.
Yeah,
But I just
there
think
there was a lot of additional things you could unlock and like different weapons you could use. But same, like I think I reached maybe 10 hours, and then I was like,
yeah,
I was looking at it and I was like, I can't believe I'm here. Still trying to play this
Yeah.
game. I need to put this shit down and never touch it again.
The game seems like a
yeah. But
mirage.
no, I think also the controls. It's not Mirage is not a controller game. It's not a controller game. There's so many controls that you need to. Even if you try binding everything's just gonna overlap with something, and it's so overcomplicating. For instance, with Assassin's Creed 2, the controls are literally in the top right of your screen. It says X, that if you hold down R2, you'll see, okay, now you're gonna fast run, or you can dodge or parry, whatever. So that's just so simple, having everything there. And the story as well, where it's to the story about the Templars and the Apple of Eden,
Yeah.
which was so awesome.
I think
So-
nowadays games are just like developers are almost trying to justify their price point, right? Like just jam pack it and make it super dense and feel like there's just a lot to offer. Even right now, Spider-Man 2 is getting criticized because you can 100% it and get the platinum trophy within 25 hours. And there were some people saying like, well, you know, how do you justify that, and asking Insomniac. And, you know, there's articles of them obviously saying that they feel like it's completely valid. You know, there's what we were worried about and concerned going into it was quality, not quantity, right? Making a story that's super immersive, that you can flow through, that you don't feel distracted, that there's refreshing options with side missions, but not overwhelming, you know, it's just focusing on the narrative and the feeling that we're trying to give our players, because that can dilute with such a huge game and massive map and thousands of characters. It's like, I won't get the essence until 500 hours in because of how big it is. That's unfair. That's unfair. You know, you can give me the essence in 10 hours and I'll be fucking absolutely happy. So I hope that criticism and that kind of questioning stops, because I think we need to go back to quality, right? No more. Obviously, there'll be a market for those people that enjoy it, but I think the popular player base would say we would prefer a 20, 25-hour banger rather than a 100-hour game that's just full of shit. So
yeah, it's like how Hollow was as well, because I see they keep adding like new outfits and stuff to the game, so they keep updating the game. But it's you're moving away from, because you want the main story. You don't want a story within a story that continues on with the story to a story of a story.
yeah,
You know?
100%.
For instance, with Mirage, all the
Yeah.
quests you gotta do. So many quests. So I just want to focus on the story. That's the reason why I buy the game. It's my movie that I'm playing.
Yeah, 100%. You were mentioning that earlier, but yeah, same thing with about, you know, like cinema and games that are kind of like a movie. Like the narrative is what has to move me throughout the game. It can't be the gameplay or the mechanics. Those are all great things, but I feel like that's an accessory to the world and to the story that you're telling. And then that allows for more immersion and for the times that I'm fighting these characters to be more fun, more competitive. But the soul of those kinds of games is the story. The Assassin's Creeds, the Starfields, all of that. And Starfield has a great story. That's the only thing that's kind of been like nudging me back. Is like, I'm actually kind of interested in how this ends. But how interested? You know, that's the debate I have all the time. Do you have a game of the year so far?
What's all the games that's dropped?
That's a good question. I'll have Fam pull up a full list.
Because you mentioned Diablo as well. You mentioned Diablo.
Yeah,
which
Hogwarts.
People were super hyped about.
Hogwarts Legacy.
I haven't really played it.
Resident Evil 2 remake, but I don't think remakes can be considered. You got Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. You've got Star Wars Jedi Survivor. You've got CS:GO 2. You've got what else has come out? Diablo, Street Fighter. That's obviously not going to be up there. I'll try and give you contenders. Starfield. That's going to be a contender. Atomic Heart dropped this year, but that didn't get much noise. Kind of fell off pretty fast. Lies of P has been getting a lot of traction recently, but also not a massive game. So it's really Diablo, Starfield, Hogwarts Legacy, Zelda, Spider-Man 2, Jedi Survivor. That's kind of the list.
I feel like
Baldur's Gate. I'm sorry, Baldur's Gate 3 was a big one this year. I didn't play it, but I know that has a big audience.
Yeah, people are hyping it out a lot.
Honestly, I feel like Hogwarts Legacy.
Really?
Just solely because I mean, like the gameplay itself it looked pretty good and everything like that. But I like just going off of the fact that I feel like Hogwarts Legacy was like the only game that got even non-gamer people to get into gaming.
Yes,
because anyone that is remotely interested in Harry Potter, even if they're not a gamer, I know people that don't play games at all, never talked about games. We're just talking about Hogwarts Legacy, and there was just like, dude, that hit everyone.
It's so true. My wife put in about like 15 hours into that. My sister-in-law, she put in like 15 hours into that. My sister-in-law's partner beat it, and those are people that like don't really game like that.
Yeah.
And that just shows you the power of the Harry Potter universe. It's just massive globally. You know, that would make people buy a fucking PS5 to play it, you know, even though it was available on PS4 too eventually. But I think for me, I'd probably currently put Spider-Man 2 up there. I think narratively, nothing has compared to Jedi Survivor just yet. But Spider-Man 2, as far as how they evolved from the first game and the second game and really brought it to the next gen level and the new mechanics and everything that they've updated to the game has been really, really nice and refreshing. And I think, Spider-Man 2 and Hogwarts Legacy, after your point that you made, that's a good one. I'd consider that too. That's up there for me.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. That's a really good point. Because, for instance, even there's just one girl that I know. She is also pretty big in Harry Potter, and I mentioned Hogwarts Legacy and stuff. She said, "Oh yeah, I really want to play that game," but she doesn't play games. So it really does bring so many people into gaming. Because, like I mentioned, the only game that I think the creators that I don't know how many studios made Harry Potter games, but all the games weren't that much focused in Hogwarts itself and the free roaming aspect of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So the thing is, now this game just went all out. You can go anywhere in Hogwarts. You can go anywhere in the area. You can go to Hogsmeade, which is so awesome. And being able to go on a broom and just flying around, you know.
Yeah, which I'm also surprised they haven't done anything about Quidditch. I haven't heard much about a DLC for that game. I feel like the post-drop process for Hogwarts Legacy has been very lackluster. I'm surprised there hasn't been much more that's come out, especially after the response.
Yeah, that's so stupid. Because I mentioned it as well. I'm like, but there's been no update on the game, and it's so stupid because they're focusing on making a new game.
Mm-hmm.
Where I thought that this could be the game that they're gonna work on for the next few years and just update it, which would have
Exactly.
been amazing.
Which should be the plan for a lot of these games.
Yeah,
Why
but I think
not?
they realize how much money they made from this game, and they're gonna like, okay, let's make another
Yup.
game, you know?
And it goes
So
back to that at the end of the day. Every single time with
you
all
know,
these studios, it's like money, 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 money. So
exactly. But
go ahead.
yeah, no, that's why I wouldn't maybe put Hogwarts Legacy as the game of the year. Is just because how little support it got from the supporters. I mean, from the developers after the release,
Yeah.
which is really if you added a new game plus to Hogwarts Legacy and you added Quidditch, for instance, and multiplayer
Hmm.
to be able to do co-op with some of the missions and update the missions, like maybe a DLC, like they do with Spider-Man, like adding a new story within the story.
100%. And
That would have made the game really, really pop off. You would have actually gotten more sales of the game, I think. They would have gotten a lot more money as well.
I don't know if it's eligible because of the time that it released. I think it is technically considered for this upcoming Game of the Year award, God of War Ragnarok, because that dropped in December. And by then, would that have been considered last year's entry? Probably not. It would probably be this upcoming year. So I wonder if that'll be up for consideration. But just to give you some context on games that won in the last few years. So last year was Elden Ring. And then the year before that, It Takes Two, Last of Us Part 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, God of War, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Overwatch, The Witcher 3, Dragon Age Inquisition. So, I mean,
Overwatch.
yeah.
Wasn't
Overwatch
that a game of the year?
in 2016, according to what I'm reading.
No way. I didn't know that.
Can you go to the
Well,
other,
it was a good game.
other tab up
It
there?
was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, that game made a lot of noise. Yeah, Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Damn. Okay.
And from what I'm
well,
reading,
yeah,
I think
well,
Ragnarok
well,
was in
mentioning those
2022.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think Ragnarok could maybe it should be considered in this year now as well. Then.
Fam said it was last year, according to what he's reading.
Yeah.
Oh, was it actually
I
in
think-
nomination?
Yeah, it says at the Game Awards 2022, the game received a leading 11 nominations, including Game of the Year, winning 6. Wait, what? What? Winning 6? Is that talking about the first God of War? Or Ragnarok?
Wasn't it like 6 nominations for like maybe sound design or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That they
Maybe.
won 6 awards.
Maybe.
Um,
But I wouldn't be surprised,
Yeah.
man. Spider-Man 2 might take it this year, honestly,
I
because
think Spider-Man 2 as well.
if you look at those other games, the genres are really sporadic around there. But if there's any games that deserves like a huge spotlight after the last few years Insomniac has been having, it might be Spider-Man 2. I know there'll be a big argument from the PC community about Starfield, but I don't know. I don't feel like that game has made long-lasting waves. There was a wave there, and since then, it's definitely gone down.
I feel like only the modding community will be up in arms if they don't win, because modding is huge on that game.
Now, you haven't played a ton of different games this year, Ledge, but do you have a pick for this year? Or at least your personal?
Honestly, I don't think Starfield wins it.
Okay.
No.
I'll say that.
Yep.
Because I haven't played any of the picks that you guys have been talking about, but I know Starfield probably won't win it. The story is great. It's a great game, but it is overwhelming. It's very overwhelming, and if you go into the game looking for reasons not to like it, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But if you go in there with expectations like, yeah, this might be a decent game, then you'll like it. But it's just so big. There's so many storylines, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for a casual gamer, you know.
100%. Well, then what's your personal pick for your favorite game of the year?
That released this year, it has to be Starfield because it's the only one I've played.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor?
Oh yes. No, never mind. That's Survivor.
Survivor?
Hello,
By a
Star
long
Wars
shot.
nerd.
By a long shot.
Slight
By a long shot?
Yeah.
That was a great fucking game. but that's
Star
a,
Wars, yeah, that was good.
but
That was
that's
a
a
really good game as
sequel
well.
game and didn't make a ton of noise, which
Not
is
as much as
unfortunate.
Spider-Man.
Not as much as Spider-Man.
That's the thing.
No.
So I think
Personally, for me, it's Star Wars with a close second of 2, but it's because those are the only 2 games that came out this year that are up for contention.
yeah, so far for me, the best story I've played this year, narrative, would have to be Star Wars Jedi Survivor. But I'm not done with Spider-Man 2 yet, so we'll have to see. Just pure gameplay, though, I would lean Spider-Man 2. So we'll have to see, man.
Yeah.
But those are our picks. Armand, before I let you go, brother, any last words you'd like to say? Appreciate you so much for coming on, man. And for anyone that doesn't know, Armand and I have now been working together for the past almost 3 years. And when I started the channel,
3
he was
years.
a huge supporter.
Crazy,
Yeah,
right?
a little bit under, because I think we started, we knew each other about 3 months into streaming, I think, when you came into the chat. And then we didn't start working together until 6 months later. So yeah, maybe more like 2 years, a little over 2 years.
Because
Yeah.
we just hit our memberships for 2 years, so we just got memberships 2 years ago.
Well, memberships only came in like after.
exactly.
a
I'm
year,
saying
didn't
because
A year
it
later.
was later. Yeah,
It was a year later.
Yeah.
Those diamond badges though.
fire.
Fucking
You like
great.
'em?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like typing and
Dude.
seeing the blue over there. I'm like, nice. I like it.
That's fucking neat.
Yeah.
I do miss the red badge kind of, but if you're a mod, you know,
The red
blue
just
one,
fits the
It goes
brand.
hard.
Yeah,
100%.
So, but yeah, no, I'm pretty psyched about the channel now, because the thing is, I think we kind of get ahead of ourselves, or even with you and me. Like, let's say that one God of War short that got like 7.5 million views or something, and
Mhm.
then we had like this massive growth in those few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
even with oh no, it was
Last of
was
Us.
The Last of Us. It was The Last
Yeah,
of Us.
God of War Ragnarok popped off
Um,
too, but Last of Us
yeah, it popped
really
off,
went
yeah.
nuts.
But the thing is, I think we kind of got ahead of ourselves. We're okay, we're gonna go make it big right now, you know.
Mhm.
But we keep forgetting that we're like in a 2 year. We're in the second year of a possible like 6 year adventure.
Mhm.
Most people make it actually big, like actually getting success in their channel like after 4 or 5 years even.
Yeah.
So I think it's still the start. Yeah, sometimes it looks a bit off, and I think it's good to have another person alongside you just to motivate you, you know, because
100%.
it's difficult. It's super difficult, because I wanted to move into content creation. One of the reasons why I started streaming as well and all that stuff a few years ago, but it was just so much hard work to get the content out and to constantly post and edit stuff. And I was like, I don't have the energy for this, dude. I'm not gonna be able to make content and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think with this, it was a pretty cool idea to fall into this kind of a role. Like, you're in content creation, but you're not the sole person to focus on that. So,
Yeah.
um,
100%.
but yeah, I think it's really fun to do this with you and with everyone else, with Law and Fam as well. So also going into more different content as well with the podcast as well now. So
Yeah.
it's really fun. And yeah, looking really forward to it. And I'm glad that I could have been part of tonight's episode. So
Hell yeah,
yeah,
man.
been
It's so exciting to have you. And just before you go, I do want to go off of what you said. And yeah, the goal has been to have a team, and having a team is, I think, invigorating and exciting for everyone. You know, I think it makes the journey even more fruitful for me and enjoyable. And I hope for the other people that are part of the team, it feels like, okay, we're in something together. And I think that feeling is something that I've always chased my whole life. I've been in sports teams, I've been in bands, and I'm always about, you know, the team, even though it seems like maybe I'm the one at the helm. That's just the position I happen to be in. But without the team, the solo journey just isn't really for me. So appreciate you so much. And from a viewer to a mod to editor to then YouTube admin as well to now a guest on our podcast a few years later is pretty magical, man. So thanks for being here, brother. I appreciate it so much. And I talk to you about 100 times a day, so I'll talk to you in a few hours.
A few hours when I wake up.
Yeah. Sleep well,
Thank
brother.
you very much, boys.
Love
Thank
you,
very much,
Armand.
and, love you guys too. See you guys in a bit again.
All right, sounds good, bro.
Love you,
See ya.
man.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, man. Peace, guys.
That's Armando. And guys,
Armando.
we are going to jump into some UFC stuff, but I need to go to the bathroom, so we're going to cut right here and do a quick break. But we appreciate you very much. We'll be right back. Do you have the picks ready? Because I'm going to go to you right away on the picks. Our records and stuff.
Oh, our records. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, I thought we weren't doing any picks.
Sorry, I meant the our
Yeah.
picks record.
Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
No, it's not going to start here.
Oh, my fault.
I want him to have it ready because I'm going to throw it to him right away.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
You're
It would be a bad solution to scream dead air anyway.
Dead air.
Dead air.
Dead air. Dead air.
Somebody fucking say something other than dead air.
We should record you saying dead air, and then I can make it one of those pads over there. So you hit it, and it's just you yelling dead air.
Dead air.
Dead air.
You know, if you hit the
Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
hit
Dead air. Sorry, I was giving you multiple options like takes.
hit the red square on your right, the pad. No, all the way to the right. No, all the way to the pads, the beat pads.
Hold
Thingy
on,
looking.
my phone's gonna fall off my shoulder. I'm still listening to the city council meeting. This one.
One of them, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, your voice sounds mad. Is that my voice? Is that my voice?
I don't hear it. No, you're coming through my mic. Why isn't it for all of our voices?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Is mine the only normal one?
What?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
You can shut it off.
I got the deep voice filter on.
I
I
wonder.
wonder if you select your mic and then do it, if it'll work.
Let's try it. No.
Check. That's weird.
No.
I'll wait for
Pussy.
the first
Dumb.
microphone.
Dumb. Whoa.
Bro's in a Pringles can.
Travis Scott.
Is that a beep?
Yeah.
You got a beep on that?
Yo, what the?
Cuss me out, bro.
Yo, Atlas.
Yeah.
Yo. 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 Yo.
Law. Beep him where?
What?
Him where?
You asshole motherfucker.
You know what's funny is the first time I got this thing, I did the same shit. Just couldn't
That's
stop.
everyone. And the on the
You know, I should still be saying something. No, walking your motherfucker.
and then you cut back to fucker.
Fuck you.
There's this page that
I was doing like Titanic Morse code.
Okay, let's get this shit over with. yo.
We're going down. SOS.
There's a page I follow that they they bleep out movie scenes, but it's like obviously on parts that they don't swear to make it sound funnier. They do
make
it for
it
like
sound
The
like there's-
Office
yeah.
and so many.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's basically what we just did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to business. UFC. You put together the picks that we've made on all the main cards since we started this podcast. You've got our record. What is our record across the board?
Bro
So-
did the dirty work for us.
I did. Surprisingly, it wasn't that hard. Yeah, I kind of just had to go back and see what were the numbered fights, and then actually just find where they were on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But so our record right now in first place is Law with 13 correct. Correct picks. I'm in second, close second with 11, and Atlas all the way in last place with 10.
All the way, like there isn't three of
There
us.
is- we're off by a little bit, each one of us.
And I'm one behind. so. Do you know how many total fights we've picked?
Yeah, what's like my record?
Yeah, what's my
like
losses?
13 and what?
Exactly. That's what
If
I'm
it's
looking forward
anything
to.
more than 5, I'm gonna be pissed.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Total fights?
Yeah.
So-
Well, 18, but I'm removing this one that was, ruled.
Oh, from this weekend, the no contest where
Yeah,
the dude
yeah,
got
yeah.
kicked
No
in the
contest.
balls and fucking vomited backstage and then had to go to the doctors. And I don't know if I should just tell this story now, but I texted Law. We were talking about it, and he mentioned at one point that I kicked him in the balls or something like that.
No, we were playing floor hockey and I was a goalie, and you took a slap shot, and it just ball to ball contact.
Ooh.
And it was. I'm scarred to this day. Literally.
Literally have a scar
Yeah.
on your balls.
Nah.
Where?
Tip.
Tip of the dick.
Yeah.
You got a dick tip scar?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's actually kind of fire, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
It
proud
is.
of you.
It's on like the left side,
Wow,
bottom left side. It
Wow.
is pretty sick.
that's impressive.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Well,
Damn,
feel
you've just imprinted it on him for like the rest of He can
shout
never
out-
forget you.
Shout out Leo in Dallas. You know how he's got the scar on his face? It makes him look sick.
fire.
Yeah, I have the same thing just for my dick.
My theory.
Damn, every time he's gonna use that thing, he's thinking about you now. Just think about that.
My theory for Leo's scar, because it's across his eyebrow and it's literally perfect.
It's perfect.
I think he did that shit on purpose,
Oh,
but
1,000%.
I did
100,
too.
right?
1,000%.
Thank you.
yeah,
You would.
fake news.
He's just gonna.
I thought he did it on purpose too. Savage move.
Well, going back to cock and balls, I
Yeah.
actually had an ultrasound on my balls when I was, I think, 13.
You pregnant?
No, dude, I went to school one morning and my nuts were fucking hurting. Now, I don't remember that day fully, obviously now, but I remember
Blacked out
back
from ball
then.
pain.
I remember back then not knowing why, but my balls were just hurting. And I went to the doctor and they ultrasound my nuts. So I was like, oh, that guy's getting
What
an
a
ultrasound
sentence.
on his nuts too. So, yeah, I
Were your nuts okay? Just had an itch?
yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah,
think
it was
there
like, oh, it says an itch. Oh, okay. I didn't think that.
Pinched
No.
a little too hard.
I don't think they found any issue.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe my balls were just growing. They were dropping.
Hey,
Who
man.
knows?
I'm glad your balls are okay.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Shout
it.
out to the balls.
What's this guy's name? Victor Henry. His balls aren't okay.
His
They're-
balls are gone,
they're in
right?
his stomach.
I mean, he was vomiting in the back room.
Yeah.
I didn't vomit. You know,
No.
so he's fucked.
No. But it wasn't in his balls. It was leg. Doctor
No.
said so.
Yeah. Oh my god,
He
bro.
The doctor said so. It was,
He
it was
didn't
like,
kick you in the balls.
We got to
bro.
segue off.
All
of that.
cock and balls, bro.
Yeah.
That's what he
It was like,
said.
oh, cock and balls. Yo, I can't. The doctors at that fight were ridiculous.
They got to be rigged, right? That doctor was in somebody's pocket.
100%.
It was
trillion
terrible.
%. No, I mean, Dana White's excuse for it in the post conference was that he's inexperienced,
Yeah.
which might be valid, but I don't know why someone who's inexperienced
How
is
are
in
you-
that position.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
was just
other
about to say,
doctor
how
in
are
the
you
world.
An inexperienced doctor. Isn't there like fucking 20 years of schooling? There's no way you're inexperienced.
Well, I think maybe he's experienced as a doctor, but not handling the adversity of having to go on stage in front of everyone and on stage in the octagon,
Yeah.
and talk to someone who's been in a fight, so that obviously is already badly damaged. But I can't believe he went in there and told the guy he didn't get kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Like, why isn't it, how are you feeling? What is it that you're feeling? Talk me through the pain so that me as a doctor can assess what it probably is going to be and diagnose it and then know how to move forward. Instead, he's just like, no, you shouldn't be feeling pain because it didn't happen.
Yeah. It was like
What kind of doctor approaches a situation like that? What the fuck?
literally to tell
he was like
tell
a
you,
school
it was like the
nurse.
guy that just got kicked in the balls, and it was like, no, it hit leg. And then the guy's like, yeah, no, it hit balls. I'm feeling it, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's a dick
like-
and balls,
it's like, dude, I'm not fucking faking this because I'm about to like his 5 minutes are running out. He's not gonna fake that injury to get out of that fight. dude. Like, no, like if he's on the ground that hard,
Insane,
dude isn't
dude.
acting.
And then how many fights later? 4 or 5 fights later, maybe, with fucking Johnny Walker, where I
Yeah,
heard
that
it
was
came
rough.
out today that he knew to say Abu Dhabi. Now this is his perspective. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's
I don't
bullshitting
know.
or not, you know, but he said the doctor asked him where he was, and he thought of Abu Dhabi, but he didn't want to be wrong, so he said, "I'm in the desert," and that's when the doctor's like, "He's concussed."
Yeah. I mean, if that is Johnny Walker's excuse for that, I think that's a bad excuse because if you don't want to be wrong with Abu Dhabi, why would you say desert, which sounds way more wrong than
It's
Abu
true.
Dhabi? I feel like even if you said Abu Dhabi, it's closer. And even John Anik, he said he was like, yeah, if I was on there, I would have said Abu Dhabi as well, which technically is wrong. I think everyone would have said Abu Dhabi. But I do think though, like seeing Johnny Walker's face, I don't think he was concussed, dude. He looked fine. I think he was focused on the ref because you could see on his eyes when I rewatched it, like Johnny Walker's like not paying attention to to the doctor. Doctor said some things to him. He's like, "No, I'm fine," and he's looking at the ref, and he's just he's got his eyes locked on the ref. The second the ref tells him to go back, which is like, I think he's just confused as to like, oh, like I don't want to give my attention to the doctor.
Now,
And I do think there's
is
a language
he-
barrier.
Is he confused because of language barrier, or he's confused, or just, you know, confusion in the moment with what was going on, or was it the need of the head that he had taken like a minute earlier? I mean, that's why there was a stoppage.
Yeah, I don't think the knee to the head was that bad.
Wasn't that?
It hit the chin.
Yeah.
I saw it hit the chin. If it hit like Aljamain Sterling's, it hit right on the side of the head.
Temple.
I can 100% see that leaving someone dazed. He did get hit with a hard knee, but it hit chin. He seemed to got up. He wasn't like rocked. I think, you know, he might have been dazed for a little bit, but when he was speaking, the way he was looking, and just like at that moment, I could kind of tell, like, I have like, you know, Brazilian parents. I kind of see when they're not understanding something because of a language barrier. I kind of felt like that was Johnny Walker. Like he was kind of like a little bit off with the language.
Interesting.
And even Dana White said that there was a language barrier. And I'm like, I 1,000% think that's it.
Which is 100% valid, and you might be right. But my first instinct was not that.
Yeah.
My first instinct was that he knew what was going on. He knew that he fucked up. He knew what the doctor said. He knew the doctor was calling the fight. Ref comes over, goes like this, and then that's when he gets animated, like he's ready to go, and starts walking to the other side,
Yeah.
like he wants to fight. That just feels like, so, in my opinion, in that moment, it looked like someone that was trying to get out of the fight potentially, and then once realized that the fight was over, showing like, no, I want to be here.
Yeah.
I want to be here.
All right. I 100%
You know how many
agree.
people quit in there? So first instinct, I was like, oh, he's putting on a show to make it look like he actually, you know, wants to fight, and it was just confusion. But I think he knew what was going on.
I can 100% see why you would also think that, which like a part of me is like, I also think the same thing. Cause like he was going to fight and I was like, dude, the doctor is still in there. There's people walking in. Why do you think the fight's going to start now? Which is like 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just felt like the timing was weird. Like that's when you show that you're ready to fight and engage and start making a show.
Yeah.
Was as soon as they called it off. Why didn't that happen way before?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It is a bit, but it like, I mean, he also wasn't losing that badly for him to want to hop out of it. He almost landed that knee.
Yeah.
So close to landing
Great
that
first
knee.
round,
Yeah.
dude. It was going great. It was very competitive. And in my picks, I picked against him. I think all three of us did.
Yeah.
So once he started doing well, I was like, oh man, now I'm locked in. And I bet on it, right? Because all of our main cards I bet on and Law bets on too.
Yeah.
So then I was like, what the fuck? What is going on? When I got the no contest, I was like, I just lost my whole parlay. But he ended up telling me, and then we saw that that voids because it was a no contest.
Okay.
So my parlay still continued, but I ended up losing it because I picked Kamara, which we'll get to. But yeah, that whole situation's weird, man. I still kind of lean to my first instinct, which was it just felt like odd.
Yeah.
More odd than miscommunication.
Yeah, I can see that. And I don't know, the Johnny Walker's a cool guy, but I feel like even he knows he's not gonna be a belt holder. I don't really see that motivation. I think he sees his potential and he knows he's a good fighter, but I think he knows he's not gonna reach top. At least now, not with the motivation he has. He seems like he's doing it to have fun. He's such a goofy guy, but it's tough to take him serious sometimes.
100% agree with that. Law, what were your impressions? What did you think of the Johnny Walker situation?
Sorry, my mic was muted. I think a translator is like needed there, no matter what.
Definitely,
no matter
valid.
what.
Yeah,
no matter what. I don't care if I don't care if Johnny Walker did say something that in fact made the doctor stop the fight, but you still need a translator. Like there's no excuse on that. Dana White said that they'll think of something to take care of it. I want to know what that is, because it's probably reschedule of the fight. It's got to be.
Yeah,
I think so.
Because it was a good fight going through the first round.
100%. What was your first instinct when you saw it go down, though? Were you like, translator? Did it feel off to you? What were your first impressions when
it felt like the doctor was like trying to rush it?
Okay.
I think the doctor was trying to rush it, and that also him rushing it. I mean, it doesn't let the coaches can't jump in, to translate or anything, because the ref will think that's coaching. So like it was a tough situation for
somebody
everybody.
on the commentating crew might have mentioned the same thing. I don't know if it was John or Cormier were mentioning like he still has 5 minutes. Why is the doctor rushing to a decision?
He has 5 minutes in total of rest. The doctor went in at minute 2.
Yeah.
And called off the fight before the 3rd minute even
which
came,
is ridiculous.
Right?
You got to give him some time to recover as well. And I did see it. I was on Twitter. I saw this guy comment like saying, it was like, oh, like you can't recover from a concussion. That's so stupid for people arguing that. I'm like, yeah, but these guys are fighting. They're like getting like punched in the head.
Multiple concussions.
They
while
live
continuously fighting
on concussions. So that's not the thing. No, he's just dazed, bro. You just gotta let him like not be dazed anymore, and like,
I
maybe
think
he wasn't like 100% back.
Yeah,
So.
I think there's a lot of people to blame in this situation. I think the doctor absolutely fucking way out of his mind on both situations, 1,000,000%. Definitely communication translator that could have definitely helped the situation, and I also thought Johnny was a little shady in the way that he acted, and you could also blame coaching, because you have to be telling your fighters, hey, if something happens during the fight and the doctor comes up to you, they're going to ask you, what day is it and where are you? You need to know those things.
Yeah.
If I was a head coach, I'd be telling my fighter that all the time. Not that you're ever going to get dazed, but we need to be prepared for everything.
Yeah.
So that felt a little odd too. But just going on to our records again. So you said how many total fights again? You say 17? I'm sorry.
13. Yeah, 17. I have 13 wins.
So you're 13-4.
W.
I am 10-7. Fuck. I'm an average team. Just barely made it to the playoffs. 17?
17, yeah.
And
17,
you are 11-6. That's respectable. 10-7 is fucking a disgrace. Okay. Well, we got to keep picking. Our next card is the John Jones Stipe Miocic card.
My little brother texted me and he was like, "We should go." And then I was like,
"Look at the real." I was
like,
MSG?
"Look at the tickets." He's like, "Never mind, we'll watch it at home."
Well, we're actually gonna be away for the weekend.
Damn.
For Pioneer Day.
Oh, it's that week?
Oh, it's that week.
So we're going to watch it together?
So we're going to watch it together.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
And we'll record the pod during the fights. So we'll be giving an episode that's just basically going to be strictly on our reactions to the fight, chilling and talking about UFC while the fights are happening. Kind of like the Fight Companion that Joe Rogan does.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the name.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do for that fight. I can't fucking wait. We don't have to make our picks yet, but I just wanted to bring it up. Going on to the next card, or the next fight in that card, Usman versus Hamza Chimaev. What a fight. Disappointing. for me because I wanted Kamaru to do good.
Yeah.
In his press conference, I don't know if you saw, but he was choked up, man. He was on the verge of crying, and Volk basically cried
Yeah.
in his press
Yeah.
conference. So the Usman one was tough. I thought it was a little bit interesting because at first I was like, okay, there's the old Hamza Chimaev, like out the gate rushing to wrestle. I was kind of going a little bit off of how his approach was with Gilbert Burns. He was like, okay, I want to establish my presence on the feet. I want to make this, a good fight. This is 3 rounds. Let's get to it. Maybe I respect my opponent, his jiu-jitsu and his ground game. So, let's start out on the feet. But then Kamaru, who was one of the best wrestlers on the UFC roster, maybe best welterweight of all time.
Yeah.
And he goes straight for the wrestling. So I was like, oh, I kind of thought he would play it on the feet for a little bit. Kind of like Islam does with Volk. Like, let's start here.
Yeah.
Because I respect that part of your game. Champion, Kamaru, ex-champion. So the fight didn't go necessarily how I imagined it to. And I heard supposedly that Hamza broke his wrist in the first round. So that affected his wrestling in the second and third round. Like I said, I wish this was 5 rounds. And our picks, I picked Usman if it was 5 rounds. I picked Hamzat if it was 3 rounds. And I think before the pod ended, we were under the impression that it was 5 rounds, which it should have fucking been.
Even Dana said on the post-fight conference, he said, if that was 5 rounds, that could have been a different fight.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's interesting. So I feel like that's something that like people want now. People want that 5-round fight.
Well, if it's for the contender, if it's a championship fight or if it's to fight the champion, gotta be 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Gotta be 100%. If anything, like once you enter top 5, I'd be okay with championship rounds. Once you're a 5 ranked fighter, if you fight someone above your ranking, like a 7 or 8, because they're fighting a 5, you start the championship rounds, the extra 2 rounds. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
100%. Because I think that fight would have been way different. I think Usman wins that fight if it's 5 rounds.
Really?
Yeah.
I agree. And a full camp.
Yeah.
Full camp.
Full camp.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
he
he
needed.
didn't do 5 rounds because he knew he wasn't going to have a full camp.
Yeah.
So he knew his cardio would be questionable. And then I think he made a comment afterwards where he's kind of like, man, now I kind of wish it was 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that 2 champions on the same day made horrible fucking decisions. Because obviously, in retrospect, now that we know what happened to Volk, it's like, why would you fucking do that, right?
Yeah.
That was one of my first reactions. I was like, why would you take on a champion on 11 days notice coming off the couch? And then afterwards, he's talking about all the mental shit that he's been going through and almost starts crying, like literally breaking down in the press conference.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, man, all those things were happening and you just finished having surgery and you're going to take on this fight. Whoa. Talk about high risk, high reward. This is just like a dumb decision.
Yeah.
And during the pod last week, we were like excited, maybe hopeful, but just being fans.
Yeah.
I think in retrospect, man, he made a fucking bad decision and it's going to scar his legacy.
Yeah. I mean, especially since it's the second, typically like if you lose the first and it's close enough, you can get that second. If you win that second, that guarantees the trilogy. So that guarantees who's settling up. Once you lose the first and then you lose the second, it's hard to sell that trilogy now. So that it's kind of like you close the book, and it sucks that you close the book on a short notice fight where it's, who knows if you got a full camp, who knows if you would be able to change the outcome. And if you won that one, that would have guaranteed a third. And that's where they could really settle the score and everything but yeah, it's tough. But I mean, also thinking about it, it was like, man, if it wasn't for Usman, if it wasn't for Volkanovski, who would have been? Who would have taken any of those fighters last minute?
I heard that Dustin got the call for Islam and he said yes, Dustin Poirier. Gaethje rejected it. So Dustin was an option.
Yeah.
I heard reports that someone else was contacted, but I can't remember. So that would have been the Volk situation.
Uh-huh.
Now for Hamzat, that's middleweight. So I think Sean rejected it, which is fair.
Understandable. Yeah.
He's
you
a
don't
champ. You don't need to jump into that fucking shit. Defend your belt once. I think a lot of people critique the way that champions choose their fights. But to me, it's like, that's the reward of the journey. You go through everyone that you have to that you can't choose to go around for the most part, especially in the UFC. Once you're champion, you're given certain rights.
Yeah.
And that is the reward. You get to choose your fights. You get to have more control of your career and what happens next. But then, and that kind of is in vein with Sean O'Malley. A lot of people have criticized, like, who is he going to fight next? Okay, he's going to fight Cheeto. Cheeto's rank what? Like, there's a lot of people in line that are closer. So
I think that fight with Cheeto kind of makes sense sales-wise, just because no one's interested in, what's the other guy's? Not Darius. Is it Darius?
No, in that division, the other one in line, there's Cejudo, there's
the guy that didn't want to
could run it back again.
The guy that didn't want to fight Aljamain. I forgot his name, dude.
Oh, his butt buddy. What's his fucking name? Fuck.
Ken's with a D. Fuck. Hold on.
Marab.
Yeah. There's Marab that they were saying would be a good contender for Sean O'Malley because he's more or less next in line, but no one's really interested in Marab. No one's really interested in Aljamain too, which I think would be, a good fight, being that, he did get knocked down, but it seemed like a fairly close one. So I think Aljo makes sense to run it back, but sales wise, Cheeto Vera just makes the most sense. And I'm all for it.
It's the only stain on his record.
Yeah.
Correct the wrong. I think that's great marketing. I think that shows purpose. I don't feel like that's him, trying to get out of a fight or something like that. To me, that's like a great first step.
Yeah.
I had a perfect record. I had a fucking nerve damage because of one of the kicks and I couldn't put my foot down properly. And that's why I lost the fight.
That was, in his own words, it was a lucky shot because it just happened to hit right that nerve. You could throw that, from what he said, at least on podcast, you could throw that kick 1,000 times and you would have been fine. But that last time where it just hits that one nerve, it just happens to shut off your leg.
Which is part of fighting, right?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to disable your opponent. But in his eyes, it was like 1 in a million. And now that I'm a champion, let me clean my record, show that should be, 14-0 instead of 13-1 or whatever it is. And let's fucking run it. So I think that's a great decision. I think it's a great fight. I don't know who would have filled in. I think instead of Usman, it's Sean, or maybe they fucking do something random. Feed a fucking 15th ranker to him. Yeah. Just fucking go eat him. Which he would.
Just watch a slaughterhouse just going on this thing.
100%. Yeah. I mean, that's his rise to his position was that. Yeah. It was like, just feed him to me, dude. You just slaughter all of them. Fucking
man,
crazy,
it's kind of crazy to just also picture the possibility that Paulo Costa and Kamaru Usman can fight now. I was like, that would be a cool fight.
Yeah.
I like Paulo Costa. I want to see him fight more people. He's just been so unlucky with, unlucky is a way to say it, but I think his last 3 fights, he's been pulled out of.
Yep.
Because of like different reasons every time. Where it's kind of like, dude, come on. Like, when was the last time you fought?
Ever since he lost to Izzy.
Yeah.
Everything's, it hasn't been the same since. So that'll be interesting to see. But that fucking hole in his elbow is nuts to look at. I don't know if you've seen it, the fucking gash.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that picture.
Yeah.
Gross.
Horrible.
Gross.
So reaction to the head kick and Volk getting knocked out. What was the reaction when you first saw it, man? I was shocked. I was so quiet. But I when it happened, I was almost like, damn, I should have seen it coming.
Yeah.
I should have kind of seen it coming. Like, to think that this was going to be more competitive. It's just not a full camp is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Not a full camp's fucking crazy.
Not a full camp and not a full camp against.
Oh, fucking Dagestani, bro. That's the worst decision to make.
Yeah.
You do no camp on a boxer when you're an actual fucking mixed martial artist like Volk is. So, okay. Like 11 days, I'll just fucking wrestle him, keep him on the ground, maybe choke him. The 3rd round or something.
You do no camp against like Sean Strickland.
Exactly.
You go no camp, it's like, yeah, I can take him still. Yeah.
And then you're Izzy and you find out, wait, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not saying you didn't do a camp, just trying to be funny.
But yeah, but against like a person from Dagestan, bro, doing no camp or not a full camp, you have to have just the absolute biggest balls and most confidence in yourself. And I think Kamaru Usman and Volkanovski both have that.
Massive balls.
Yeah.
100%. But big balls doesn't always pay off.
No.
It's unfortunate.
And 100%, well, I can admit that I did the picks on just like not even gut feeling, because like I had to like, you see the like, bro, Dagestan, they just always win. They always win. But it's just like I made the pick off like I just hope Karama wins.
Yep.
I hope I'm right, and I hope I can put that green over there where it shows. But it's just like, it was an emotional pick for me.
Yeah, same thing. And I texted that to you right after. I was like, I'm done making emotional picks because here on the pod, I did it with Usman and I almost did it with Volk. But on the Volk one, I was like, no, I'm not going to lean into my emotions because I just did it, with Kamaru. So I'm going to learn because I think Hamzat's a great fighter.
La did it right. He switched up right at the last second. We convinced him.
I think I think I'm good when it comes to making my picks. I think I'm I think I'm better than you guys at putting my feelings
You
aside.
100% are. 100%.
I think I'm more of a realist than you guys.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think Volk is my favorite fighter. I really do. I love Volk.
That's a slightly emotional pick because you picked Volk and we didn't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but
we have our vices.
I didn't back it on the bet.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and even on the pod, he said he corrected. He picked the first thing you said is you picked Volk. But then once we were saying like, yeah, but like who would you like? It's not like who you want to win. Who do you like gun to your head?
Yeah.
Gun to my head.
Which realistically,
who do you think was gonna win? That's what you guys said.
Yeah, but realistically, you switched it with the mentality. Who do I would I back up financially?
Yeah.
Realistically, if you asked me as well, who would I back up financially? I wouldn't have said Usman either. I actually would have switched, but I didn't switch it on the pod, so I'm gonna keep it. But realistically, if we're going off the mentality of who would you back up financially, I'm not going to Usman.
But financially also shows the odds of the fight.
Yeah.
According to the these Vegas people, because Usman was the only person in the main card and on our parlay that was an underdog.
Yeah,
they were all favorites. So picking the favorite is easy.
Yeah,
maybe
not financially, but
eventually we're gonna have to pick an underdog.
Yeah,
on some card.
Yeah, maybe it's not like financially speaking, but it's more of like, who do you like think is gonna win? Like, not who do you want to win? Who do you?
Yeah.
If you just had to place a?
That's what it boils down to for me.
I think we're gonna get better with this. I think
I'll teach you guys.
Yeah, you're gonna teach us because you're in first place with 2 more or 3 more actually than me.
Yeah,
whatever.
2 more. I mean,
and not to totally.
I just mean like putting your feelings aside on picks.
Yeah.
Nah, I think after that one, I was like,
it's not just UFC that I'm with that I'm like that with.
Yeah,
Andy sees it all the time in the group chat when it comes to the Patriots.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
here's what it is.
It's a team at the end of the day, and the point is to win.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to make our next picks though, because I feel like. I'm pushing away from that emotional pick. And it's helping me.
I like these picks. I like doing these picks because I like seeing our records change, seeing us get closer to each other.
Yeah.
And I do want to have the belt here. I want to have whoever's in first place have a little belt that could be at the table. You'd show up on camera. I'm still trying to find it.
Let's do it.
I want to find that belt that Sean O'Malley had. That he posted that little
Henry
belt.
Cejudo's belt.
Yeah, I fucking want that belt so bad. I'm trying to find it, dude.
Call up Henry Cejudo because he has it.
Give me your belt, dude.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Pioneer Podcast. This was episode number
14.
14, baby. It's been amazing. We hope you guys have been enjoying it. Looking ahead to the future, we are going to do that podcast with the main card between John Jones and Stipe Miocic. We will be filming it and watching it live at the same time while doing the pod. So that's going to be really fun. So make sure you guys put that on your calendar because it's going to be a lot of fun. What do you got for me, fam?
No, I was just going to say, just a reminder as well, this Saturday, Ngannou versus Fury.
That's this fucking
This Saturday.
We got to make our picks then.
Yeah, we got to. I mean, obviously Ngannou.
That's a joke.
100% joke. What I talk about emotional picks.
Emotional pick would be Ngannou.
I mean, I would love for it to see Ngannou win. Just be like, dude, like you trained all this time to be a boxer and you finally get to the top and you be a boxer, but to beat Tyson Fury, dude, I don't know.
I'd be shocked if he lands like a heavy punch.
I've seen some of his sparring, not his sparring, his bag work and stuff.
Mitt work, yeah.
It's just crazy to see what the difference between a professional boxer and someone that trains a lot. You still see the difference though. These guys are so much faster.
All you do is when you go to training is work on these and your cardio.
Yeah.
Right. And your balance and obviously other mechanics. But with MMA, it's like, okay, if I'm going to go to the gym today and spend 3 hours, I got to do an hour on the mats. I got to do an hour cardio and then an hour mitts. It's like, you can't just focus on these two fucking things.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're going to see on display. My pick is also Tyson Fury. Law?
Sure, Tyson Fury.
Boom. 3 across the board.
About
Yeah.
it.
That's all right.
Are these gonna go on? These aren't gonna go on
No,
our record,
keep it
right?
No,
It's kinda,
no,
yeah,
just UFC.
yeah. These are just emotional. Not emotional, but who
Fun.
we think. Yeah,
The thing
fun
is,
one.
like UFC, we're all invested in it. Like I'm like you guys are into boxing. I'm not.
I
you know.
wouldn't say I'm
I
into
wouldn't even
boxing. This
say-
is like a crossover event
yeah,
kind of anything.
I'm not into boxing at all.
It's just because you
Very
don't fuck with
odd
Ngannou.
parents.
Because if it was Sean O'Malley versus
Ryan
Gervonta
Garcia.
Davis, which is what he wants to do, you tell me you're not going to watch that fight?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Exactly. That's going to be oof. I think he could sell that fight. If he beats Cheeto
Yeah,
right after that, that might be potential. I hope for more crossovers with people that actually stand a chance. Ngannou, I hope you land a miracle knockout. I really, really do.
that'd be so cool.
But
That'd be
Tyson
so
Fury is
cool.
the guy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You heard all the updates. We'll see you next time. Episode 15. Next time we see you.
Peace.
Adios.
Love you guys.